TV's Rob here. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First and foremost, it's free. We all like free, right? There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, making it a lot easier than the way that I go about it. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, saving you the time, energy, and effort of having to do it yourself. It is a pain. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And if you start up a podcast using Anchor, I'll be your first guest.
I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you. I'll officially be changing my pronouns to they, them. I feel that this best represents the fluidity I feel in my gender expression and allows me to feel most authentic and true to the person I both know I am and still am discovering. I want to make it clear that I'm still learning and coming into myself.
Rob, wake up. No. Rob, wake up. No. TV's Rob is unwoke. TV's Rob is unwoke. He's unwoke.
Oh, yes, I am. Welcome to it. It is TV's Rob is Unwoke. I am your host, TV's Rob, and yes, I am unwoke. And I got to thank a guy I know that I've worked with for years now, Joey. Joey. The man, the myth, the legend, Joey. Thank you so much for putting together that opening theme and other original music associated with the show. So awesome. Makes me feel so official with my own custom theme song. It's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of cool. I have very limited musical ability. If you've ever listened to Keith Malinak's podcast At the Mic and you heard the episode with me, yeah, I could play a musical instrument, but that doesn't mean that I'm musically inclined, okay? I skated by on my looks and my charm and my wit. By the way, go check out Keith Malinak's podcast At the Mic, okay? atthemicshow.com. But anyways, welcome to it. Got a special treat for everybody listening today. Jeff Collins, a.k.a. Handicapped Jeff, will be joining me to discuss coronasomnia. Yes, it's a new thing called coronasomnia. We are so bored, apparently, and so first worldy that we have to create even more problems for ourselves. We'll dive into that and a few other things coming up later on in this episode. Handicapped Jeff, you can follow him on Twitter at Handicapped Jeff. But before we get to him and the things that we talk about, let's talk a little bit about Demi Lovato. So to open the show, I'm pretty sure you heard this female voice or non-binary voice, whatever kind of voice it is. That is the voice of one Demi Lovato. She has decided to come out as non-binary. Now, I'm going to get into that, but before I do, I have to get into a little bit about Demi Lovato. I think that this chick, this non-binary, whatever you want to call her, I think she is desperate for press. I don't know why. But if you notice over the past few weeks and past few months, and probably even the past few years, I can't say I've been paying that close of attention to her. Everything surrounding her has very little to do with, I don't know, what she became famous for initially, which was music and acting. I mean, she started acting in 2002 on Barney and Friends, and went on to appear on other shows, and then, of course, started doing some Disney Channel stuff, which I'll get to the Disney stuff later on, but you've got to notice a trend here. For the past couple of years, ever since 2018, when she had her famous drug overdose, I'm noticing that the headlines associated with her are not even talking about music or acting, except like one point where she was performing at the Super Bowl. Other than that, you don't get a whole lot of Demi Lovato stuff related to acting or singing. Instead, it's stupid shit like this, coming out as non-binary. A while back, she also came out and said she's California sober, as if she's not taking her overdose in 2018 and rehab seriously, calling herself California sober. Now, what is California sober? Well, it's anything with the name title with California in the name of it can't be good, right? That's what I'm thinking. While it's not a medical term, California sober usually means that someone avoids all drugs, except marijuana and alcohol. Not like either one of those are dangerous. I mean, come on. I mean,
Who among us?
Who among us?
Who among us?
doesn't feel the need for a drink or two or five.
Every now and then.
I mean, who among us doesn't feel the need to have a drink or two every now and then? As far as marijuana is concerned, with the way that it's being legalized all around the country, obviously it's not a danger, right? Right?
Right?
I'm not willing to go out on that ledge, but whatever. As she justifies her California soberness, saying that swearing off alcohol and marijuana entirely is just setting herself up for failure because she's such a black and white thinker. She had it drilled into her head for so many years that one drink was equivalent to a crack pipe. No. That's a little overboard. One drink equivalent to a crack pipe. Wait, am I supposed to be saying she or am I supposed to be saying they? Damn it, I don't know. It's these pronouns. I don't understand it. But moving on from the California sober thing, because obviously she doesn't take her addiction issues and rehab stuff seriously, okay? You can't say that I'm not going to stop doing these because they're just not as bad. I'm setting myself up for failure. In other words, you're just waiting for the right time, okay? Something's going to happen, and before you know it, you're going to be right back to doing what you were doing before, and then you're going to be back up in the hospital. That's all there is to it, okay? So stop being a dumb bitch. Now, just last month, okay, we're talking the month of April 2021, she decides that she's going to call out an LA frozen yogurt shop for selling sugar-free options, okay? Obviously, she needs to chill the F out. She blasted Los Angeles-based frozen yogurt shop The Big Chill for carrying sugar-free variety, saying it was triggering for her as a woman recovering from an eating disorder. So wait, she's got the drug addiction, she's got an eating disorder, she's got this, now she's non-binary. What the hell are you doing? On Instagram, she said, finding it extremely hard to order froyo from at The Big Chill when you have to walk past tons of sugar-free cookies and other diet foods before you get to the counter. Do better, please. She also used the hashtag Diet Culture Vultures. Now, of course, the froyo shop stood up for itself, thank God, and defended itself on their Instagram and tagged Demi saying, we carry items for diabetics, celiac disease, vegan, and of course many have indulgent items as well. Now, she didn't take too kindly to it. She said her experience there was triggering and awful. You can carry things for other people while also caring for another percentage of your customers who struggle daily just to even step foot in your store. You can find a way to provide an inviting environment for all people with different needs, including eating disorders, one of the deadliest mental illnesses, only second to opioid overdoses. So she brought her own overdose story into this. Don't make excuses, just do better. Now, The Big Chill has been in business longer than this woman's been alive and on the earth, okay? So, hey, I think they're allowed to do business however the F they want. Now, less than 24 hours later, the feud was apparently over. She apologized to anyone offended by her message, which she said had been misconstrued, admitting that she didn't lift the froyo place up from a place of love. I'm genuinely sorry that people took it the wrong way. I just get really passionate. Really? That's your apology? You didn't lift the froyo place up from a place of love? And you're genuinely sorry that people took it the wrong way? How were you meaning it to begin with? You were calling them diet culture vultures, and you were saying that your experience there was triggering and that they needed to do better. I mean, the place has been in business for 36 years. I think they know how to run their business, but obviously you're the expert. And of course, the reason that she apologized is she faced backlash because people found out about what her beef and of course started reporting on it. And she says she refuses to be gaslit. Then don't say anything. Don't be... These celebrities who say the stupidest shit online and then immediately apologize for it because they get lit up. Well, guess what? That's what happens. If you don't want to get lit up, don't use your platforms for stupid shit like lighting up a froyo place, okay? As that one girl says.
So let's use brain cells before we post things on the internet. Thanks.
Yeah, use some brain cells. I don't know how many of them you have left after your years of drug abuse and everything else. But hey, if you have any left, just use them before you put stuff on the internet. Thanks. So that brings me to the non-binary thing. Yeah. That's just so lovely. Here's part of her statement. You heard it at the beginning of the show, but here's the rest of it in its full context.
I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you. Over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing and self-reflective work. And through this work, I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary. With that said, I'll officially be changing my pronouns to they, them. I feel that this best represents the fluidity I feel in my gender expression and allows me to feel most authentic and true to the person I both know I am and still am discovering. I'm excited to share with you what this means to me and what it may look like for other people. I want to make it clear that I'm still learning and coming into myself, and I don't claim to be an expert or a spokesperson.
So really, she's just the latest in a Hollywood trend of coming out as non-binary or trans or whatever else is out there for everybody to start identifying as. Joining the likes of Ellen Page, who is now Elliot Page, who's also like trans. Ellen Page is now trans and non-binary. I don't know what all of that is, but apparently non-binary, because that's a term you're going to be hearing a lot, apparently, refers to someone who does not identify only as a man or a woman, i.e. the traditional gender binary, according to the Human Rights Campaign. They can identify as both a man and a woman. How can you identify as both a man and a woman? I have to know. Demi Lovato, I have a question. Do you have a penis? Do you have junk? Do you have a man's junk between your legs? Let me know. I don't typically encourage dick pics, but Demi Lovato, if you have a penis, send me a dick pic, okay? DM me on Twitter at TV's Rob Official, okay? They can identify as both a man and a woman in between the two genders or not a part of any gender category at all. GLAAD offers a similar definition, saying someone who is transgender may also be non-binary. Ellen Page or Elliot Page, for example, identifies as both, but that is not always the case. GLAAD recommends only calling someone non-binary if they claim that identity themselves. So her coming out and saying, I've decided to become non-binary, I guess that gives us the green light to refer to Demi Lovato as they, them, instead of she, her, instead of what? I know I'm not supposed to use gendered language. I'm sorry to address everyone. I'm sorry. But what in the actual... Non-binary also exists as a catch-all term for various gender identities. It can also be used as an umbrella term encompassing identities such as agender, bigender, genderqueer, gender fluid. I just can't with this stuff. Oh, God. Why? And of course, as she is coming out as non-binary and now is apparently a man and a woman, I have to wonder, how does Cody Lindley, Trace Cyrus, Joe Jonas, Wilder Valderrama from That 70s Show, and Max Eric, her latest fiancé, how do they all feel about this? Which one of them is responsible for sending her down this road of madness? I really wonder. Just a quick little reminder, Jeff Collins, aka Handicap Jeff, will be joining me in a few minutes. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the next little thing. I'm just trying to bang these out real quick before we get to Jeff. Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. Yeah. You know her company Goop? They make weird products and shit. Well, one of them was a candle that smelled like her vagina. I don't know what her vagina smells like. I don't want to know what her vagina smells like. But apparently you got to watch out because that vagina will explode, leaving you smelling like her vagina. Yeah. A man in Texas who says he bought a "This Smells Like My Vagina" candle from her Goop company claims it would have killed him when it exploded. And now he's filed a class action lawsuit about it. I guess he didn't like the smell of her vagina. According to the legal docs obtained by TMZ, the guy suing is a Texas resident named Colby Watson, and he says he purchased the 10.5-ounce vagina candle online in January. He claims he lit the candle for the first time in February and placed it on his nightstand, a nice level surface, and insists there was nothing close to touching the candle and no open windows or drafts in his bedroom. In other words, he had his stuff sealed up tight. He claims after burning for an estimated 3 hours or less, the candle became engulfed in high flames and exploded soon after, and the room was filled with smoke, probably smelling like her vagina. I wish somebody would explain how that could smell like a vagina and why would people buy that. He also alleges the candle also left a black burn ring on his nightstand and says the jar is charred and black. According to the docs, Watson acknowledges the candle comes with a limited warning on Goop.com, including cautioning not to burn the candle for more than 2 hours at a time, but he says that warning was insufficient. Watson claims Goop fails to warn that the candle could cause significant injuries when it explodes, and he calls the vagina candles inherently dangerous. He's suing the company for breach of warranty and products liability and is trying to put together a class seeking damages exceeding $5 million. A rep for Goop says, "We're confident this claim is frivolous and an attempt to secure an outsized payout from a press-heavy product. We stand behind the brands we carry and the safety of the products we sell. Here, Heretic, the brand that supplies the candle, has substantiated the product's performance and safety through industry standard testing." Is it wrong I want him to win? I'm going to guess that the scent of Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina is not something that's easy to get out of your home. I think he should be paid just for that reason. And finally, the last person I want to rag on this week, CNN's Jake Tapper. Now, some of you who follow me on Twitter probably saw this earlier in the week. Jake Tapper. You know, there was just a brief moment in time where I agreed with Jake Tapper on one thing, and one thing only. Jake Tapper had been adamant and passionate about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. I wholeheartedly agree with him on it. But this opinion of his, I cannot abide. I cannot agree with this one at all. Jake Tapper says that Ryan Reynolds shouldn't have been allowed to play Deadpool. Let me ask you one thing, Jake. And not even the good Jake, you know, the Jake from State Farm. Let me ask you, Jake Tapper. If not Ryan Reynolds, who? Don't just say, oh, he shouldn't have been allowed to play him without giving some sort of an idea of who should have been able to play him. But he says, I think that if you are in the Marvel universe, then you should have the ethics and the strength not to go into the DC universe as an actor. You can't be J. Jonah Jameson, Peter Parker's boss, and then turn around and you're Commissioner Gordon for Batman. You can't do it, Simmons. You just can't do it. It's not fair. You can't be one of Aquaman's evil gremlin fishmen and then turn around and be the Green Goblin fighting Spider-Man. You can't be Daredevil and Batman, Affleck. You have to pick one. I'm actually an unapologetic Affleck fan. I don't care what anybody says, and he's good as Batman, but I'm sorry, he was Daredevil first. Now, when asked specifically about Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, knowing that he had played Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern movie, Tapper says, Yes, I submit that there are sacrifices that one makes for principle. That's what principles are. You uphold them even if sometimes it's inconvenient. Like, you honor democracy even if your candidate loses. Now, before I get to my larger argument, I'm going to pick on that final line. Like, you honor democracy even if your candidate loses. Look, dude, you're talking about comic book movies. Leave the politics out of it, you dumbass. That's one thing about Jake Tapper that really pisses me off. He could be doing an interview where he's the guest, and he could be just talking and talking and talking and going on, and everything's cool. Then all of a sudden, he's got to throw the jab in politically. Why? All you're doing is pissing off half the country when you do that. Of course, not like you actually care. Agendalist journalist, my ass. Come on, man. I mean, Jake, just stop, okay? You're talking about comic book movies, and you had to throw that in there. Now, I'm going to dissect this argument that he makes about in the Marvel Universe or the DC Universe and blah, 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 blah. First and foremost, I'm going to break this down just by the names that he drops. In terms of J.K. Simmons playing both J. Jonah Jameson and Commissioner Gordon, one way to knock that one down immediately, the Spider-Man movies that he was a part of initially, they're not part of the Marvel Universe. Those are movies made by Sony. Okay? When he mentions Green Goblin and the Fishman from Aquaman, he's referring to Willem Dafoe. Again, as Green Goblin, that was a Sony movie, licensed from Marvel. So not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Daredevil and Batman with Ben Affleck, he sucked as both. So I'm not even really worried about that one. I'm sorry. Batfleck is not a worthy Batman. Come at me, bro. I dare you. But when it comes to Ryan Reynolds, okay, he's jumped back and forth a couple different times. Okay? He was in the Green Lantern movie as Hal Jordan, yes, but he actually made a Marvel character debut in 2004 when he appeared as Hannibal King in Blade Trinity. During filming that, a guy with Marvel actually brought him a bunch of comic books and said, you know what, you would be perfect for this role, and it was Deadpool. He became Deadpool in the 2009 movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, the one that we don't talk about. And if you've ever seen Deadpool 2 in the credit scene, you know exactly why. In my mind, Deadpool and Wade Wilson is the role that Ryan Reynolds was born to play. He absolutely nails it because that's just how he is. I mean, if you've ever seen a Ryan Reynolds movie, he's the same guy in every single movie, which is exactly like Deadpool. He's always been the guy with the mouth, making snarky comments, being sarcastic. So he's really perfect for that role. And again, if I really want to get down to brass tacks, still not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Those were made under 20th Century Fox, licensed by Marvel, because they still own the rights to all the X-Men related characters and the Fantastic Four characters. So still not officially a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I will give Jake Tapper a little bit of credit and say that if you are an actor involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, maybe you shouldn't go out and do a DC movie. And if you're in the DC Extended Universe, maybe you don't go and do a Marvel movie. Though if you're in the DC Extended Universe, I'd understand if you wanted to come over to where the big boys are and be in those movies because they're far superior. But as far as Jake Tapper is concerned and his whole mantra here, you're way off base and you're an idiot. Okay? You're an idiot. Well, that's really all I've got. I mean, I could talk about other things, more serious things, but why? I don't want to do that. It's more fun this way. So let's bring in Jeff Collins, aka Handicap Jeff. All right, so we're at the interactive portion of the show, and this week I have a very special guest. Some of you may know him. Some of you may remember him before he fell off into the abyss. You may know him as Handicap Jeff fame from Mojo 50 and the Blaze, the Morning Blaze.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean fell off into the abyss?
Well, nobody knows what you're doing anymore. Nobody. What have you been up to?
It's top secret. We can't talk about what it is I'm currently doing because that's totally shh. Okay.
He got an adult job. The truth is, actually, he's the new star of the latest CIA ad that's going to be coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And it's all because, I guess, because of his hands.
They like the way I hold a gun.
How
They're
do
like,
you
dude, you
hold
could
a
be
gun?
you could be a really cool poster child for all the handicapped people out there who want to be able to carry.
And be in the CIA. That's what he's been up to, everybody. All right, so Jeff Collins, welcome to Unwoke.
Thank you. I appreciate
what
the
have you
invite,
been
man. This
doing,
is really
Evan?
exciting. I remember talking to you prior to your invitation, and I was like, dude, this is brilliant. I really love what it is that you're attempting to be able to do here. And as far as podcasts go, I think this is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
And your adult job with his adult hat and glasses on. So what you got?
Nobody
What
can really see
what?
this, though, right?
No, but that's
Okay.
why I had to describe it. I mean, I could see you. They're not going to see you,
Right.
but I can see you.
Fair enough.
For better or for worse, really.
This is beginning to sound like my ex-wife.
So the concept here is you bring something to the table that's really hacking you off, pissing you off, grinding your gears, so
Yeah.
to say. And apparently you have brought a plethora of things for the show this week.
Well, I didn't really know how much time we had, and I was like, okay, when I started going down my checklist, I was like, I'm not really angry about anything, or I'm not really ticked off about anything, because I keep reminding myself, you got to pick your battles really careful, right? Is this the hill you want to die on? And
Sometimes,
then
yes.
afterwards, I was like, well, I can't just come to Rob's show empty-handed. So then I really started going, all right, well, what's really setting you off? And then I remembered me and the missus went out with a friend of ours the other night, right? We went to this restaurant. And so here's the thing. We're talking about COVID for a moment, all right? So I'm not going to share anything really new about COVID or my disdain for COVID or my disdain for the mask that people want us to be able to wear. But I've yet to wear a mask since COVID came out. I've been kicked out of stores for not wearing a mask.
So
Because
you're
I'm
that
unwilling
guy.
to do it. And I'm like, that's fine. If you don't want my money, that's cool. There's another store right down the road that'll take my money. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens. But so we go out to eat. And you know how when you go to these places, when COVID was really prime time, and they had all these warning signs and 6-foot distance, and they had all these stick figures showing you what 6 feet looked like, and all these pictures of masks and everything else, right?
Oh, and you were in grocery stores and they had signs saying shop this way, shop that way.
Yeah.
So everybody was going in the same direction, as if breaking that trend would send the virus to your face.
Right.
I didn't understand that part either.
No, none of it makes any sense at all. But what the CDC has decided to be able to do is they have republished their information about how to stay healthy. And that's what
Really?
they're calling it. It's just simply how to stay healthy. So they talk about washing your hands. They talk about wearing a mask in crowded areas, if you so choose. They
Okay,
talk about
if you so
maintaining
choose.
social distance, if you so
If
choose.
you so choose.
Yeah, if you so choose. And their verbiage is wonderful. And they have these pictures too. They still have the little stick figures in there and everything else, because that's what we need. We need an image of somebody washing their hands with these bubbles coming out, because we don't know how to read. We have to have a picture that goes along with
Yes.
it. So
Well,
how
I
they
mean,
closed
what
it-
if you don't read English? What if
Oh,
you don't
that's a
read
good point.
read and write
Yeah.
English? I mean, so, and that's
Well, then
right up
CDC
their
is a
alley.
racist for not having multiple signs out as far as how to stay healthy. If they're
I mean,
only
are
doing
the
it in
hands
English,
white?
that makes them a racist organization.
Exactly. And in the pictures, are the hands white?
Oh, absolutely. It's all done.
Oh.
Well, they're white outline.
Those racist fucks.
Thank you. Thank you. Are we allowed to do that on your podcast? We can say,
Yeah.
I didn't know where the lines were. We didn't really talk about words we could use or can't use on this podcast.
You obviously haven't listened, and you haven't seen the explicit title label next to it.
Okay.
There's a
We'll
reason
see if
I
I
made
can
it
drop some
explicit.
F-bombs along the way to be able to fit in with you. But what's really getting my goat in all of this is how the CDC just keeps on wanting to have more. All right. You know how everybody gets 15 minutes of fame? One way
Yeah.
or the other. Supposed to, everybody in your lifetime will have 15 minutes of fame. Well, I think the whole thing with the CDC is they want this 15 minutes to last longer than what it's already. I mean, we're done, guys. You know, just shut up.
It's
already.
lasted over a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Fauci has had his 15 minutes of fame for the last 40 years. Every time there's an outbreak or every time there's an epidemic or a pandemic, he is the guy who has been front and center. And he has been wrong so many times, yet he still has a job. And he's making more money a year than the president of the United States of America.
Imagine that.
As a government employee. And yet he tries to say, oh, I'm just a humble government employee.
Yes. Oh, look at me. Where's the camera? Hold on. Where's the camera when I say that?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you. And I
Where's
really
the
think that's kinda
sharpshooter? Get away from the windows.
That's what's going on here. Is I really do believe they've tasted the limelight and they want to stay in it. So the CDC has now issued new guidelines. For folks who don't know, the CDC says that Americans who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 do not need to wear masks or practice social distancing indoors or outdoors. So the question is, of course, how does that make you feel, right? A new poll discovers that the word optimistic is the most common answered, followed by hopeful and also nervous. Only 14% of people said that the new mask rules make them feel confused.
I'm in that 14%.
Thank you.
And
been
it's
vaccinated?
not because... No, hell, oh, no. God,
Okay.
no.
All right. Do you plan on being vaccinated?
No.
Okay.
No.
See,
have you seen the little magnet thing? People are sticking magnets to the arms where they at the injection site, and it's actually sticking to them.
no.
Yeah, that's the craziest shit I've seen all week. And then on top of it, I mean, the way that the vaccine was rushed out. I mean,
Yeah.
none of these are FDA approved. None
Right.
of them. Okay, emergency authorizations is not FDA approval. You look at the amount of time it usually takes to develop a vaccine, to test a vaccine, to roll it out into the market. And you still have some adverse side effects. I mean, whenever you go get your flu shot, sometimes you end up with the flu for a few days,
Right.
or sometimes even worse. That happens. So, back in the days of the polio vaccine, people were getting polio from after getting the vaccine.
Imagine
This
that.
type of stuff happens. But with this, there's so many unknowns in terms of what is it actually going to do to you? Are you actually protected? The fact that we're talking booster shots, which is Fauci and the CDC totally wanting to make this drag on and on for years and years to come because they've tasted that limelight that you mentioned. But my biggest concern is the long-term effects. Okay, it may work against the virus now, but 10 years down the road, what's going to happen to my body?
Right.
And with it being developed and put out in less than a year, I mean, hey, kudos to them for getting it out. But at the same time, no, I do not trust it. And I'm not, before anybody starts thinking, oh, you're anti-vax. No. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I believe in vaccines. I don't believe in this vaccine.
Right.
Totally different.
Okay, so let me jump in here real quickly. The flu vaccination that usually comes out every year, right? I haven't done that, dude. I'm like in my 50s now, and I haven't seen a flu vaccination since in my young 20s.
Well, and honestly, what's the point of getting it? Because every year they develop the vaccine, but then, oh, wait, dang it. We did it based on this strain of the flu, and this year, this is the strain that is the flavor of the month. So,
Right. So
it
it's
may
hit or
not,
miss.
it may
You-
not
you
work
never know.
for you. I'm sorry. May
Yeah.
not work.
Right.
Then what's
And
the
I
point of
figured
me
if-
getting it?
If we're gonna get sick, we're gonna get sick. And
Yeah.
listen. Here's the thing.
Bring it
with
on.
With the whole COVID-19 thing, I don't wish anybody ill. I've had family members. My daughter actually contracted COVID-19, and it kicked her ass. but she's still here. She's still around. She said it felt like the flu times 10. And I'm like, damn, times 10. That's got to suck.
I mean, I'm a baby when it's the flu times 1. So I can't imagine somebody having to take care of me with times 10.
Right. So anyways, with my daughter having been sick and everything, let's circle back around to originally why I brought this up to begin with.
Look, I'm not Jen Psaki. I'm not circling back to anything.
Well,
but
okay,
I will,
fine.
but we can
Whatever.
follow the yellow brick road backwards or something. Click our heels twice and go back. But I ain't no circle back girl.
So the CDC paperwork. At the end of all these how to stay healthy, its tagline is, so this way you can deal with respiratory infections such as COVID-19. That's how they ended it. So it's no longer COVID-19.
It's now just a respiratory infection.
Right. So it's just, it amazes me. It baffles my mind as to, okay, when's enough? Because the CDC has come out, and here recently, if not every other day, every day, with some type of something to say. And it's like you've already lost all types of credibility. I mean, because you go backwards. Like what you were just talking about, let's go backwards on the yellow brick road. Well, that's what the CDC seems to be doing. They seem to be backing up some of the things that they were saying before. Like, oh, no, wait, what we really meant to say is whatever. And it's like, I don't care anymore. I am so beyond caring. And I get it. People get sick. But it's like, come on, people. This is not about a disease any longer. This is really about, to me, this is about control. This is a test by the emergency government system to figure out how many sheep there are out there and how many people will comply.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that the CDC is, they're taking the language down. They're backing down a little bit. But at the same time, you have Clark County in Las Vegas, or in Nevada, Las Vegas area, ramping back up. They're going back to the June level of protocol from last year, where you could only have so many people in a casino, or you can only have so many people here. I mean, they're going almost back into a full-blown lockdown stage.
Now, I thought they had already waived all that stuff and that they were opening full tilt. Everybody, come on, let's go, let's party. Bring your money.
They're backing it back down.
Why?
I'm gonna guess because to them their infection rates or something are too high. But either way, I mean, yeah.
And see, I asked that because it's like, what happened to the flu? All through 2020, I never heard anything about anybody getting the flu.
Oh yeah,
2021, I haven't heard anything about anybody getting the flu. It's like, dude, I swear, I really do believe this is just one of those smoke and mirror type of situations to where, I mean, dude, I am not a huge conspiracy guy, but I'm not an idiot either. You follow?
Yeah, I'm with you.
If I really think this was one of those tests where it's like, let's just see what we can get people to do. How many will comply?
And unfortunately, the number is way too many.
Damn straight. Yes.
Now, I'm all for, if you want to go out there and you want to wear the mask, you want to get the vaccine, you want to protect yourself, you want to do all of that. Okay. That's your choice.
Yeah, absolutely. More power to you. Have fun with it.
But don't be telling me what I have to do. My body, my choice. Damn it.
Thank you. Yeah. If I can honor your choice and if I can respect what it is that you want to do without saying a word, why can you not show me the same courtesy? Why do you feel as if you have to go all the way out to be able to tell me how wrong I am when I don't do that to you? If you ask me what I think, I'll tell you. Right? But I'm not walking up to people with masks going, you're an idiot. Don't you understand? This is real. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean? Get out of my way. I'm just trying to get some milk. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care why you're wearing a mask. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me either which way. You know, what I have a problem with are the fucktards who get up in my face because I'm not wearing a mask. I'm like, why are you even taking the time to bug me, bro? Come on.
Right.
Oh,
You
wait,
know,
you're in my face. I'm not wearing a mask. You are. And guess what? That mask doesn't protect 100%. So, excuse me. Excuse me.
listen, these masks are creating quite a problem. According to the most latest research that I've been able to find, more than 129 billion with a B, face masks are tossed worldwide each month.
Yeah, they're ending up on streets and parking lots, and they're ending up wrapped around the turtles' necks.
Oh man, that damn turtle can't catch a break. The
turtles
straw,
weren't
the
so stupid.
mask. I mean,
Everything.
damn. Yeah.
Everything.
What's crazy about these masks, though, is that what they're made out of. Some of them are cloth, some of them are paper, but more times than not, they all have little plastic microfibers in them. That's what helps it actually be some type of deterrent as far as, things escaping out of the mask. So really, when you break it down, 129 billion face masks worldwide every month, you're looking at the same problem as you're, tossing a plastic bottle, water bottles out the window when you're driving down the road. I'm done with this. It's it on the street. But more so. I mean, this is crazy, man.
It screws up the whole global warming thing, climate change. I mean, think about it. You're throwing away plastic, people. You're polluting. You're destroying the environment with these masks.
I never looked at it as destroying the environment. I've always looked at it as simply polluting.
Well,
You
now,
know, I mean-
you got to take it one step further. You're destroying the environment
But
by
do we
throwing
really
away
have
these
to?
masks.
I mean, come on. Don't we have other things to do? Evidently not. I mean,
No,
of
we
course, I'll
really
answer my own
don't.
question.
We have,
but-
yeah. Why are you asking rhetorical questions? Of course, we don't have anything better to do. I mean, we're talking about a society that for the past 10 or 15 years has watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, okay? Obviously, we don't have anything better to do.
No.
So what's next on your list of things that you
One
brought
more
with you
thing
today?
regarding coronavirus, all right? Because I think this is really important. There's people out there with some free time, and they've been able to come up with coronasomnia. Take a guess. Coronasomnia.
You can't sleep because of coronavirus?
Right. Meaning that, these are people who don't even have the coronavirus. They've just been affected by the COVID-19 lifestyle. Everybody working from home.
Just so
Hold on,
everybody
man.
knows, I'm doing the Captain Picard double face palm right now.
Yeah, folks don't even have COVID-19. It's just a COVID-19 lifestyle. And so now they have coronasomnia.
These
can't
people that
sleep good at
complain
night any
about
longer.
these people that were complaining about the being locked in their apartments, locked down, quarantined, shelter in place or whatever. For work, I'm on these team gatherings. And of course, we all have to have our little webcams on and everything. It's our little social time for the
Right.
people who are living in the Northeast who are still locked in their apartments. And every day they complain about, I'm just stuck at home, can't go out, can't do this, can't do that. And I can't relate to them at all because the entire time lockdowns were going on here in Texas, I was still going to work every day. I didn't miss a day of work.
Yep. Same here.
And
You and I actually work for the same company. Not that we're going to promote the company or anything,
No.
but I remember having to go up there, and they issued that. You got the paper, right?
no. Oh, wait, which paper?
There were two papers that were offered as soon as coronavirus was starting to become
Oh,
a real
yeah,
big deal.
the government letters.
Yeah. So in this
Yeah.
way, if you got pulled over by the police, you were able to show them your letter saying that you work for the media, so you're allowed to be out. And then the other one was if you needed to be able to get gas. You could
Yeah.
go to a gas station. If they refused to sell you gas, you could show them the letter.
Exactly. Yeah, that was so
I
stupid.
was like, shut up.
I actually kept those in my bag just so I had them.
Yeah.
But not once did I ever have to actually rely on them.
I took them because my boss was watching me at the time. That was it. Afterwards, I made paper airplanes out of them. That was kind of cool. They flew. That was good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. They build better paper airplanes than they do anything else.
I think it was the ink on it that made it fly a little bit better.
Probably.
Anyways, that's all I got regarding the CDC and coronavirus. I just think that, if we think that 2020 was bad, listen, 2021 is not over yet. And they're going to keep on. They're just going to beat us until we're willing to submit. I really do believe that's what this is about.
I say that 2020 at least let us get to, we were able to have a couple of dates with 2020 before the shit hit the fan and everything went sideways. 2021 didn't even let us get to the dessert menu on the first date before it was just cast aflame and shit went sideways and upside down, inside out. I mean, we couldn't make it past January 6th. Okay.
Yeah.
We barely sat down at the table and the waiter had just barely brought us like water to drink before 2021 just went up in flames. And it's not gotten any better, and I don't see it getting any better. And there's no good reason behind any of it.
Yes, there is. It's the government.
I said good reason.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, my bad. Yeah, point taken. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said good reason.
All right, listen, I'm not sure how we're doing on time, but I got two more things I really want to kind of, bitch about. I'm not really sure. So you tell me, because I can toss a coin, all right? I'll even let you pick the topic. We can talk about Texas constitutional carry, or we can talk about how my dog is pissing me off because I can't sleep at night.
Well,
not because of coronasomnia, but because of my dog.
I'm going to guess that you're okay with the Texas constitutional carry law.
I am, yeah. And I know that there's certain people out there that aren't, but in a nutshell, here's the thing. Bad guys are going to have a gun regardless of constitutional carry or not.
Well, responsible
I don't think
gun
it's going to
owners,
change anything.
Responsible gun owners are going to be just that, responsible gun owners.
Thank you.
It's not like I'm going to go out, hey, I can carry a gun now, and I don't have to go through all the processes to carry this gun.
Fashion statement to go with my mask.
I think I'm going to shoot somebody today just because I can constitutionally carry. I don't think that's something that really goes through the mind of the average responsible gun owner.
Right.
Now, like you said, if bad guys want guns to do something bad, bad guys are going to get their hands on a gun. Now, of course, bad guys do bad things with guns, either legally or illegally obtained. Why? Because they are already planning to break the law. So
Thank you.
You're still going to have that bad element, but do you really think that a constitutional carry law is really going to change all that much? It's like when Governor Abbott decided, okay, the statewide mask mandate, yeah, I'm rescinding that. It's over. It's done. Everybody go out and do your thing. But what was going on? Everybody was bitching, moaning, and complaining. Oh, Greg Abbott's going to kill people. He's killing us. Ah! Businesses and local ordinances were still, local cities were in counties were still able to make their own mandates, make their own rules. So did it really change anything? No. And that's exactly what I think about this constitutional carry thing. It's not going to change anything. It's just changing the definition and the parameters of a thing.
Sure. Oh, I totally agree. And I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I am amazed at how many people will still, even with Abbott saying, okay, boom, I rescind it all, right? Leave it up to the businesses to decide as to the way they want to be able to conduct their business. And slowly but surely, you start seeing these signs no longer in businesses' doors. But you see the employees still wearing masks.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, so help me understand. How is that supposed to work? If everybody's supposed to be wearing a mask in order to stay safe, why is it now that your patrons don't have to wear the mask, but the people who are serving you still have to wear the mask? I mean, it's just like, let it go. Just stop it.
Well,
you really are making yourself look like a complete idiot.
They're signaling that they care about the shoppers enough, the patrons enough to make their employees be protected from this or something. I haven't been able to follow their logic. I will say the very first place that I saw the change in the language after the mask mandates were lifted and everything was Whataburger. On their door, they always had this sign that was white with red lettering that said face masks are required. Then all of a sudden it went from that to a white sign with black lettering saying face coverings are recommended or are encouraged.
That's so caring. That really is.
Yeah. And I noticed that, 50-50 split, people going in with or without. Me, I order curbside. I get my food. I go.
See, that curbside thing is actually kind of cool.
That is one thing I do not want to see go away.
Yeah.
Oh, curbside. I love that.
Yeah.
Because, okay, in the city I live in, the Whataburger on the weekends. Now, for some odd reason, Saturday morning Whataburger. That's my thing. That's my jam. Whether it's a breakfast taquito or it's a burger. Either way, Saturday morning, I'm getting up and I'm going to Whataburger.
Okay.
When I get there, the line for the drive-thru is always wrapped around the building and going towards the next restaurant.
Yeah, because you're not the only one with that jam.
Exactly. But then curbside came, and I'm able to pull up, park, enter the little spot number that I'm sitting in the app. They bring it out to me, and I'm able to go. And I'm not sitting in line all that time.
Are you not blocked in, though, by the people sitting in the drive-thru?
They leave just enough room to where I can get out.
Okay.
Maybe.
Right.
I haven't
backing up. Somebody better make some room.
I haven't run into that problem with the new car, so I don't know yet. The day I run into that problem with the new car, I'll figure it out.
That's funny right there. That is funny. All right, so what do we have time-wise? Are we flipping a coin? What are we doing? Oh, we already talked about the Texas Constitution, right?
Yeah, we touched on that. So we're talking about your dog being a dick and not letting you sleep.
Dog. Oh, listen, dude, I love this pup. I do. Great pup. Actually, we got this pup totally in an unplanned experience here. Me and the missus were actually getting a dog for her mother because her mom had lost her previous dog. So we were looking around at all these shelters thinking, let's rescue a dog. We're looking for a small pup because she's a small woman. She's in her 80s. And it was like, we wanted a dog that she could walk versus the dog walking her.
Yeah. Or dragging her along for the ride.
Right. So one spot after the next, we cannot find a small dog. So we go to this one shelter. We're getting out. We're going in. Of course, they have all the dogs in their kennels and stuff. And we pass this one dog. Great looking pup. But it was the only unanimated pup there was. All the other dogs were jumping up on the glass and, acting like we're real happy to see you and stuff. But this dog just had the look of an old soul.
That's the dog you go with. That's the dog you go with.
Every
time because
Thank you.
That dog is not trying hard to win your affection.
Thank you.
He's like, you're either going to love me or you're not.
During this period of time, there's a small dog there at the shelter. And we're like, excellent. However, we were like 5 minutes behind schedule to be able to see this dog. Another person shows up. They're in the doggy get-to-know-me room with this small pup. And we're like, well, wait a second. We called dibs on this pup. And they're like, well, they showed up. There's no calling dibs, right? I'm like,
okay. You lose, bitch.
Thank you. So they're like, well, they may not like this dog. We're going to give them time. They may say no. And if so, then y'all can have, this dib thing that you're talking about.
You can have your playtime.
In the meantime, let me play with this this dog right here that doesn't really want to play with anybody. So we come outside, and this dog, dude, won't have anything to do with me or with my missus. But what this dog does do is he stays right beside the caregiver. You with me? The person who's taking care of the dog brings him outside, takes him in, feeds him, waters him, walks him, all that stuff. And I was like, that right there is a loyal pup. Doesn't want to have anything to do with the strangers, but wants everything to do with the person who's taking care of them. And I was like, this is the type of dog that we want. So we leave. They wind up saying, no, you can't have the small pup. The other people took the pup. I'm like, okay, F them. So we're out. We're gone. We come back. just to see if perhaps there was another pup that, was donated or whatever. But really what we did is we went back because I really wanted to get that dog. We get the dog. Great. First couple of days, as docile as anything. Doesn't bark, doesn't do anything. I'm like, wow, this is really going to be a pretty easy puppy to raise. 3 days into it, this dog starts barking. And it's like he hasn't shut up since. And this dog is really all about taking my wife. I mean, they are like joined at the freaking hip, man. Everywhere she goes, he goes.
Is she the one that
great.
feeds him and everything?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I feed the dog. I walk the dog. I do all. I play with the dog. But when it comes down to it, it's like if one of us was going to die, he'd let me go. he's going to protect her, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. Well, okay, so I'm just sort of giving a little bit of a backstory that took way too damn long to tell. So we're jumping into today, and this dog has jumped up on the bed and initially was sleeping at our feet. Now, this is about a 70-pound dog, so it's not like, it's a mid-sized dog.
Yeah,
70
this ain't
pounds.
a pup. This is not a tiny dog. This is 70 pounds of,
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when he goes to sleep, he magically turns into like a 120-pound rock.
Oh, man, when they go dead weight, you're screwed. Yeah.
Okay, well, at the feet, it's not that big a deal. No big deal.
Yeah, but
as time has gone on, this dog has migrated up and has become a pillow sleeper. He likes to lay his head on the pillow, and he'll do it between me and my wife. And I'm like,
yeah, because he wants to be next to her.
He only does it once I'm asleep. He doesn't do it. He doesn't start off, boom, I'm coming up top, right? No. So he'll work his way once I'm asleep. I'll roll over, and next thing I know, I'm waking up, and the freaking dog is snoring in my face. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I can't get him down. He's just like, I'm like, move, roll over, get, up, down, get the hell off. And it's like, oh my God, getting out of bed, trying to pull him by his leash, or by his collar, rather. And he just digs in. And I'm like, you are so not worth this freaking effort. The missus, she'll wake up. She'll go, oh, hey, come over here. Roll over this way. Boom. He freaking does it. I'm like, that's awesome. Great. I don't care. I just want to go back to sleep. I get back in bed. I'm thinking, okay, the rest of the night, I still have a little bit of time to catch some Z's. We're good to go. Roll over again. Boom.
There he
There's
is.
the damn dog again. I'm like, this dog doesn't just snore, but he puts out heat. You ever have an animal that just puts out heat, radiates freaking heat?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm like, damn. Oh my God, I can't. It's like, so literally, since we've had this dog, I think I've had one good night's sleep since we've had the dog. And that good night's sleep came from when I actually went on a business trip and spent the night in a hotel without the dog. Dude, I swear, I love this dog. Great dog, really. But in the midst of it all, it's like, this dog's going to kill me. I'm not getting a good night's sleep.
Look, I mean, you could be the best animal in the world, best cat, best dog, whatever. But if you start messing with my sleep or my eating, you and I, we're going to have some words. We're going to fight. Now, executive producer Ryoga is nowhere to be found right now. Thank God.
Okay.
Usually my 23 or 24 pound fluff of a cat will make his way in here and he'll start jumping out towards the microphone.
Wait. You have a 24-pound cat?
Yes.
Holy crap.
And he's not, and it's not fat. He is freaking solid. And here's the thing. He's the runt of the litter.
Oh, God. 24 pounds.
Yeah, didn't realize it when my wife got him. Didn't realize he was going to be that big. But then the first time that she took him to the vet after we got him, vet looks at him, takes one good look at him and says, "This is going to be a big cat."
Wow.
She said, "Really?"
See,
he said, "Look at those."
To me, that's a big-ass cat.
Yeah. And he's thick and he's dense. And like you said, he radiates heat. You know,
Amazing.
he can sleep up in the curve of my legs, and I wake up and my knees are sweaty.
Yeah.
Because I'm a furnace, he's a furnace, and it's just bad.
Yeah, not a good mix. But so here's my issue. Getting rid of the dog. I mean, not getting rid of the dog isn't like we're kicking him to the curb, but getting the dog out of the bedroom and closing the door.
Good luck.
I've got no problem with. I'm down. But then I've got my missus.
Yeah, I was going to say, good
Advocate
luck.
for the freaking dog. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, wait a second. Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that you're perfectly okay with me not being able to sleep good at night because you want to be able to cuddle with a dog.
Yeah.
You want the dog to feel free.
Yep.
To be wherever the dog wants to be.
Well, the dog was in a shelter,
Yeah, the dog's not in a shelter anymore.
but it
The
was.
dog's in her home.
I mean, that's
the
a
dog's
traumatic
in a loving,
event.
loving, secure home. Get the hell out of the bedroom.
Nope.
So I'm like, look, tonight we're
That
kicking
is
the
his
dog
spot. That's his spot. That's his person.
Mm-hmm.
You are now you are the third person in this, in this threesome here. You are
Yeah,
the
dude,
third wheel.
I didn't sign up for that. This is not what I signed
Yeah,
up for.
you're the third wheel. Sorry. You're
Yeah,
like that.
look
You're
at
like
my
that
wife.
friend that always hangs out with the married couple. You're like, it's cool that you're here, but you're not. But now you're stepping on what's really about to happen. Okay.
Dude, I swear my missus is driving me crazy with this. Love the dog, love the missus, but I'm like, one of them's got to go. I don't care. I mean, go sleep somewhere else because I'm not giving up the bed. I am. You know what I mean? I thought, okay, I'll go sleep somewhere else. I'm like, hell no, I'm not going to go sleep somewhere else. Hey, let's take the dog outside of the bedroom. We'll close the door. And she's like, well, he'll whine. I'm like, and? Well, it'll keep us up. I'm like, he's already keeping me up. At least this way he'll learn something different. It'll be okay. It'll be a period of time. Eventually he'll go crash. He'll know this is the routine. We're good to go. Oh, no, I don't want to do it to that's just, that would hurt his heart. I'm like, I'm dying. You
Yeah.
don't care. You
Yeah.
just don't care.
Well, it is amazing to me how animals can get you to shift your entire personality and the entire dynamic in your household.
Yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, for 31 years of my life, I was not a cat person. Didn't like them. They didn't like me.
Really?
Never got along with them. Didn't care.
Why? Well, I mean, if you were to say for one reason, why do you think you weren't a cat person? Go.
They're assholes.
Okay, fair. Good. I like
okay.
it. No, you're
Wait,
good. You're solid.
When you're out, okay, when you leave the house and you have a dog, right?
Yeah.
You go out, you do your thing, you come back, okay? That dog is there to greet you. That dog
Yes.
has missed you. That
Yes.
dog is all up in your face, and he's like,
Yes.
"Oh, let me know. Where have you been? You've been gone. You've been gone forever. Where have you been? Oh my god!"
Right.
And you're like, awesome. You bond with that. You're like, "Oh, yay, somebody missed me." It's a nice feeling to come home to. A cat, you could walk in the door, you could say, "Hey, I'm home," and the cat will look at you and say, "And I've been here. What's your point?"
Right.
You're
actually disturbing me right now by letting me know you're here.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can go a day or two without even seeing your cat because they're off just doing their thing. Now, the only time that you will see them, the only time that they will even give you the time of day is when they want something from you. And if you don't give it to them, then they turn into royal little assholes.
Yeah.
Either scratching or biting. Everything
doing
becomes
that
a scratch
god-awful
pose. Yeah.
I mean, oh, shut up.
Now,
Yeah.
the change came when, damn it, the wife, she got me.
See, I want to tell you something.
She
This show
got me.
really is about wives. You thought it was about COVID. You thought it was about CDC. You thought it was about animals. But really, the essence of it all, it's the underlying issue of the wives.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, she has always been a big cat person. When I met her, she had 2. Now we have 3. And we've even had the passing of one, and and we got another one to take his place. Then we got
That's what I
another
thought.
one.
Yeah, when the cat passed away, my wife, same thing. Okay, 2 cats. One passes. Very sad. Okay, one's still alive. I'm thinking, okay, we only got one more cat to go, and then we're going to be animal free.
Yep,
Boom,
nope.
that cat passes. Next thing I know, dude, it's like my wife is just, the mourning. I can get it. The grief and everything else. I'm giving her time and no big deal, just loving on her and everything. And then next thing I know, it's like, I was looking online, and I saw that this cat's up for adoption. And I'm like, I'm going to take your phone. I'm going to throw it up against the wall. I swear.
At least she had the decency to say, hey, this cat is up for adoption.
Yeah.
Our 3 cats. Okay, and even the one that we had to put down shortly after we got married because he was just old and it was time. He was a Siamese. We have a Bengal, which that's one of those
cool.
Yeah, but that's an expensive hybrid, bougie breed.
Yeah.
Designer.
What'd you spend
breed.
on it? What'd you spend on it when you got it? What'd you spend?
I didn't spend it. She got that cat before we even met. So, but it was a few G's.
Shut up for a cat.
Yeah. Then we have a Japanese bobtail. And this particular Japanese bobtail that we have is descendant of world champion show cats. Yeah. So he was expensive.
that's cool if you're going to enter the cat into a show.
Yeah, that's the thing. You signed the paperwork saying that you're not going to show the cat.
Shut up.
Yeah. Like, we don't want the cat that we're selling you to compete against our cats.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
So we have that one, and then the executive producer Ryoga, he is a Siamese ragdoll mix, and that's the 24 pounds of fluff, and he is derpy as hell.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's even got signs that he was actually, a product of too much breeding and inbreeding. Like the pinkish hue, but I mean, it's not like he's like drooling on himself or, it's not like he's really uber special needs, but he is kind of derpy. You can see that, the wheel is trying to turn, but the hamster's not exactly on the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that cat, he's really the one that turned me more towards being a cat person. And that is because, and I know that cat owners say this all the time, and dog owners look at him like they're crazy. But this cat has dog tendencies.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
no
he's
cats like that.
I'm not going to say he's like, oh, he's like a dog. He does this and no. He has dog tendencies.
Uh-huh.
The main tendency that he has is he knows when I get home from work in the morning. He knows exactly when I'm done and knows when I'm home from working Pat Gray's show. When he hears
you
the
work
car,
at the Pat Gray show?
Yeah.
Oh.
When he hears the car
located?
pull up, some building in Las Colinas known as the Blaze.
Movie studio, perhaps?
Yeah, that place.
Huh.
Owned by that one guy that looks like Colonel Sanders. He will hear the car pull up into the driveway, hear me get out, hear me lock the doors, so he hears the horn. He will be upstairs in the home studio with the wife who's working, doing her thing at the time, and he will jump down from where he's at, and he will run downstairs. And as soon as I open the door and I say, hey, Yo-Yo, he will just start, meow. And he will come up and he will rub himself up against my leg. He will stand up on his hind legs and stretch out, looking up at me and just talking shit the entire time.
Every man's dream right there.
Yeah.
Stretch out.
I
rub
always,
up on your leg.
I always said, I've always wanted a pussy to greet me at the door. That's not the kind of pussy I was talking about.
Yeah, too late. Doesn't matter. You weren't specific enough,
yeah,
man.
Exactly. But so he's made me more of a cat person. I could honestly say that if something were to happen to that cat, I would be utterly devastated. I complain about him and I give him a hard time and everything, but I guess I'm the person that he chose. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that really is. That's sweet. Okay. I mean, that's cool. Now, let me ask you a question, though. If you had a chance to be able to get a dog, would you?
We actually had a dog for a little while, and it just did not work out with the cats and everything.
Okay, so if you had a chance to get rid of the cats and replace the cats with the dog, would you? I mean, nobody's listening to this podcast, bro. It's just me and you.
Well,
come on.
Probably not.
Really?
Like I
Dude,
said,
you were whooped.
like I said, that derpy cat has got me, man. He's got me
Yeah.
because he could do something stupid. He can do something that he could be playing his little fuck this, fuck that game. He could be an absolute terror, and would get just so mad. And right as I'm about to just burst, he'll just look at me with that derpy face. And then he'll just go, "Pew, pew, pew." And I'm just like, okay, I can't stay mad.
See, I've got the same thing with the dog that I hate at night. At night, I hate this dog. But in the morning, he's got this look, and he'll just look up at me and everything. And it's like he's apologizing for interrupting my sleep without using the words, right?
Mm-hmm.
His face. He's like he knows that, I was kind of a a jerk for not moving. I'm sorry. It's like I'm kind of a jerk for, sleeping so hot, and I'm sorry that you were uncomfortable. But will you love me anyways? I'm like, yeah, you stupid ass dog, I'll love you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this one cat is all three cats are spoiled. They're all spoiled rotten. Okay, I mean, they have a scheduled wet food feeding time at night.
Oh my God!
Because if they don't get it at that time, they become a trinity of unholy terrors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they trained y'all pretty well then.
Yeah, they've. Now, this particular cat, Ryoga, is so freaking spoiled. Let me show you something.
Wait. Is that the cat, the fat cat?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
The big cat. Let me show you something real quick.
Okay. During this time, while we're waiting on him to be able to show me something that you, the audience, will not be able to see, how about I introduce y'all to my new cowbell, which I just happen to have right here. So let's... Yep, there you go. Cowbell. God bless America.
So this right here is what we call his Fluffy.
His Fluffy.
It is
Let me describe this real quickly. What you're holding up is basically a cat post with carpet.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a
cat. Or one cat post.
Yeah, a single little cat tower where it's got the scratch post and it's got a little bed, basically.
Right. So it's about 2 feet in height. Would you say from the floor up? About 2 feet up?
No, I mean, I'd put it closer to 2.5, 3 feet.
Okay. All right.
Okay, but,
Again, and what color is the carpet? What color would you describe that?
Cream. Beige.
Yeah.
I guess cream. Okay.
More adjectives are welcome. Anytime. Go ahead.
Now, the trick to this thing is, it is the perfect height when you are sitting in a chair.
Okay.
Where he can climb up in it. He could climb up in it and lay down, and he is right at your lap. Okay? I kid you not.
Have you ever thought about moving the cat post away from your lap to where that's not an issue?
No, that's the thing, is that when we're in the studio, he is obsessed with jumping up in your lap or laying across the keyboard.
Oh, that's bad.
Trying to lay anywhere on the desk that he can get to. So, Nikki got him this, so we can just lay him down in it, try to pet him and coax him to stay there. Mm-hmm. But he'll curl up and he'll fall asleep because he's right next to you and level with you.
Got it.
That's how spoiled that cat is. And he's the only cat that uses it. Of the three, he's the only one.
You know, we may need to get one of those because God's honest truth, I was recording, you were asking me, like I've been in the abyss, right? But that's not really true. Do you use the word DJ anymore for radio? Are you really an on-air radio personality? I mean, what the hell are we called?
I mean, back in the day, it would just be like a jock.
Right? Okay, so let's just use that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a jock for over 150 stations throughout the United States doing classic hits format, right? Which is fine. No big deal. I have a home studio. Everything's set up nice and pretty like. So I'm almost done recording my shift. Up comes my cat out of nowhere. Didn't see it. jumps across my keyboard, right? I'm like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? So I go to pushing the cat off the keyboard. Unfortunately, I pushed the cat onto my iPad's keyboard. At that point in time, here comes the dog barking at the cat, freaking out the cat. The cat grabs my iPad on his way down to the ground, crashing my iPad. I'm like, whoa, what the bloody hell is going on? And I turn around to look at my screen for my, I'm about to finish up my radio shift. Boom, everything wiped out. I can't even get back into the computer. So,
Man, that is the worst. That is the absolute worst. See, and I've had with Ryoga, he would jump up on when I was sitting at another desk, the other desk in the studio that my wife uses. There's a spot where he can fit on the desk and be right up against the keyboard, but not necessarily like screwing with the keyboard. Well, my desk doesn't have that room for him. So when he jumps up here, he tries to get up on my lap, but then he's instantly hitting the keyboard. Now, there was a time where he would actually help me edit podcasts because he knew exactly how to hit the space bar and he would hit it at the right times.
Oh, that's pretty brilliant. That's cool.
But then he decided, I don't want to do that anymore because now you've caught on that I know how to do it, so I'm just not going to do it. He's a dick.
Cats, dude, I swear, if it weren't for my wife, we wouldn't. Forget it. I don't hate cats, but man, dude, it's just they're only fun on their schedule. For the most part.
Yeah.
When they want to have fun, that's when we all get to have fun. But with a dog, dude, you want to have fun. Man, that dog's down. Let's go. It doesn't matter. He was taking a nap. You want to go have fun? Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, but at least I'm not expected to take my cat in my car anywhere. Unless I have to take it to the vet.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I don't need cat hair up in the new car. Okay.
That's what they have vacuums for. Anyways.
I know, but I like my new car.
Fair enough. What'd you get? Can you tell me?
I got a 2021 Ford Mustang GT.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Dude. Right on. Dude, I just got a new car too. I got a what's this damn thing called? It's a Volkswagen Tiguan.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a SUV style car.
It's a little crossover, yeah.
Yeah, this thing's solid, man. I mean, it's a
got a
comfortable
turbocharged
ride.
4-cylinder, man. That thing actually gets up and goes.
Dude, it's got a sport mode on it. So
Yeah.
you've got drive and then you've got sport. So if you go down into sport mode, this thing, you wouldn't even know it. It weighs like, 50,000 pounds. This thing's just zoom, straight off the line. And you're like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I test
Pretty
drove
cool. Anyways.
Test drove one of those things once. I was actually kind of impressed with it. Yeah. But with the Mustang, it was time to replace the car. And because, in my previous car, I kind of went Dukes of Hazzard.
What do you mean, kind of?
Well, I didn't get as much air and lift as you see in the Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
But the motion was the same nonetheless, and it was completely unintentional, and it created a lot more problems that I didn't want to deal with.
Got it.
Plus, it was just running up on high mileage and everything, so it's like, okay, it's time to get rid of it. And I had been thinking about it for years. Man, I want to get another. I want to get another Mustang. I want to get another Mustang, or I want to get a Camaro. Just something.
So have you gotten a ticket yet?
No.
Have you opened it up?
Mainly because I drive at times when cops aren't out.
Have you opened it up yet,
area.
though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I looked down at the speedometer one day driving to work, and this was at 4:05 in the morning, and not even thinking about it because it didn't feel like I was going that fast. I looked down at the speedometer and it said 115.
Shut up.
Yeah. And
Dude, the idea of these trees just whizzing by you didn't register in your head as like maybe I'm going kind of fast.
No, I was on the Texpress.
Oh,
so there was nobody on the road, 3 lanes. And I'm just, and when you go down below, I mean, other than just looking at the lights, you're not really thinking about how fast you're going. And then I just happened to look down and 115.
That is awesome.
I might want to go ahead and just back off just a little bit here.
That is awesome. That's cool.
I'm going to take it out of 6. I'm going to kick it into neutral, and I'm just going to coast here for a little while. And then when I get down to around the speed limit, then I'll go ahead and get back into gear and go.
Wow. That's cool.
I made sure to get a
congratulations,
stick.
man.
Thanks. Very first.
Is it a convertible?
No.
No. Okay.
I had a convertible Mustang once, and I hated it. Well, I loved it, and I hated it at the same time.
Got it.
Loved it because I was in college and I was able to just pull the top down, and I would just take the side roads and the back roads to get to school. So it was nice and pleasant. But then the upkeep and the care for that thing, a major pain in the ass. And if something happens and that top gets torn, expensive to fix. So
yeah,
it's a fun concept, terrible execution.
Got it.
So
much like the T-tops, on the Trans Ams, the great concept, man. But the rubber seals, dude, they're in the sun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's magnified through the glass, the heat.
Yeah, and you ends up melting. Yeah. That's not something they thought through all the way.
Yeah, it's still cool though. For the first year, you don't have any problems. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on. Why don't you plug your socials and some of the things that you're working on?
Cool. Thanks for the opportunity. As far as socials goes, it's real simple. It's Twitter. It's at Handicap Jeff. As far as things that we're working on, as a matter of fact, my wife and I, we were doing this thing called the Jeff and Tress Show. It wasn't a long period of time we were doing it, but then we ran into some issues as far as just family stuff. And then we also had to tear down the studio every time we got done recording and set it back up. It just became a beatdown. So finally we decided we're going to go ahead and just build a studio in one of the rooms. So that's what we have done. And we're in the process of finishing everything out as far as lighting and sound and all that stuff, which is where you're going to come in and help, by the way. So yeah, we hope to be able to get the Jeff and Tress Show back up and on, and we've kind of revamped it. It used to be an hour long. Now we're only going to do half an hour, short and sweet, to the point. Have some fun with it. People can enjoy it. We're thinking about just doing it on YouTube, not doing a website, not going to be peddling any product or anything like that. We're just doing it to be able to have a little bit of fun, waste some time, and see if it catches on. But outside of that, like I said, between that and me actually doing radio and the other gigs that we have, just staying busy. So I appreciate the opportunity to being able to be a part of your podcast. I think this is brilliant.
Thanks. I appreciate it. That's Jeff Collins, a.k.a. Handicap Jeff, being unwoke.
Unwoke. Hey, you want to be unwoke? Let me leave you with this real quickly, okay? If you ever run out of shaving cream, to be able to shave, you can use Cheese Whiz. Accomplish the exact same thing with Cheese Whiz.
No.
Just thought I'd share that with you.
No. Not happening.
Just letting you know.
It's not happening. Because that shit's going in my mouth before it goes on my face.
Well, I mean, dude, in case you happen to miss your mouth and it goes on your face, grab a razor and shave.
There you go. Nice survival tip.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Unwoke with me, TV's Rob. A special thank you to Handicap Jeff Collins. You can follow him on Twitter at Handicap Jeff. I haven't talked to him in a long time, so I'm glad that I was able to have him on the show and we were able to catch up and talk some shit. And like Jeff, if you want to get in on the action and make your mark on the show, just go to anchor.fm/TV's Rob is Unwoke and leave a voice message. I'll play a selection of messages in future episodes. Also, if you want to do what Jeff did and come on the show and talk about something that's really pissing you off, send me a message on Twitter at TV's Rob Official. We'll discuss whatever is on your mind. Special thanks, as always, to my wife and producer, Nikki. You can follow her on Twitter at DFW Radio Girly. I swear I'm going to have her on the show one time. I don't know why she's refusing. Maybe you guys can pressure her into coming on. Also, thank you to executive producer Ryoga the cat, the derpy cat, who has probably been meowing throughout this entire episode at some point. Also, one final thank you to Joey, the guy who put the music together for the show. Pretty sure you noticed, hey, there's an original theme. He's the guy who made it happen. So special thank you to Joey. I greatly appreciate it. And again, follow me on Twitter at TV's Rob Official. Share this out with all of your friends. Let's build up a family. Let's get this going. Until next week, I'm TV's Rob, and this is Unwoke.